Welcome back again. This is like another set that we can do based on a chair. There's another video you can look up which is a slightly gentler practice. But often you might be waking up and you need a little bit of energy, and we can't really go out much. It's restricted. Not everybody has access to the outdoors. So in this one, we're going to be a little bit more active, and a slight precaution, because of course if you have any injuries, the benefits of a one-to-one session or a group class is I can usually watch you. So you have to be a bit more responsible for your own safety. So please watch. Maybe you can even watch the video first, and then when you feel it's right, then follow it along rather than just blindly watch and follow. Yeah, so that's a much better way to approach this practice. And hey, you have enough time. So watching it once and then following it is not such a bad idea, right? You're not going to say, I don't have time. At least that's one thing we cannot say right now. So having given that as an introduction, we do sun salutations and a lot of standing poses free form. But sometimes using the chair as an additional prop can be kind of fun and also put some challenges into certain areas you perhaps overlook. So, however, like all yoga classes, we're going to start just to quieten down, to sit down and take a couple of breaths. Okay, so find yourself the chair, place your mat wherever you have enough room in your house. And let's begin. So once more, your feet are grounded, you're sitting down, and let's bring the palms of the hand, letting it rest at the center of the chest, lifting the spine up, taking the outer shoulders back, and drawing the head down towards the center of your heart. Maintaining that lift, alert spine, connection with the earth element, with your feet pressing into the floor. Feeling your hips are grounded, a sense of rootedness. And sometimes even when we sit on the floor and maybe our body is tight, it is an effort to sit up. However, if you do sit on the chair, it might be that it's easier for you to lift and lengthen the spine. So take that advantage and lengthen upward. Take your attention to the outer shoulders, spread them more. And take a few deep inhales and exhales. Fill up your chest, breathing into the center, breathing into the back, breathing into the sides. And now gently lower your head down, release the hands, place them back on your legs, and lift your head up. Okay, so we're going to begin. So go ahead and place the chair more or less on the top of your mat. Place it in a way that it's even. And then we're going to do a kind of variation of sun salutations using the chair. Okay, so you come right to the top of the mat. The first one, standing in Tadasana, thighs back. So this is very important when we stand, right? You can see how my thighs are forward and I'm putting weight on the toes. The main important part of Tadasana is to feel that you can actually stack your hips so that they're more or less above your heels. And in terms of the chest, we have many dysfunctions in terms of shoulder, head, everything. It's about moving the shoulders back, drawing the outer shoulders back, stretching the arms alongside the body. Now observe, if I just keep my arms inactive, I don't reach my shoulders. However, if I roll the shoulders and I pull the arms back, it activates the shoulders. Head straight, chest up, weight on the heels. So stretch your arms straight, take your shoulders down, begin to bend your knees, shift the body weight more into the heels, maintain the length. Then from here, straighten the legs, place your hands on the mat, step your legs back again, Adho Mukha Svanasana, pressing the palms, keeping the elbows firm, moving the hips back, elongating the torso. Now we go back, lift your heels up, press your hands into the floor, take your hips forward. You can keep your toes curled in, shoulders back, thighs firm, buttocks in. Then pressing your hands into the chair again. Let's move back one more time. Stretching the arms, legs. See if you can step your legs back a little bit more. Upper arms firm, shoulders rolling. Once more, let's go back to the chair. Lift your heels up. Press your arms firmly into the chair. Hips forward. Now, if you feel you're a little bit stuck, you can always bring your toes curled under, lift the chest. Or if you want a little variation, you can also press the tops of the feet and activate the thighs and the chest. Let's hold it for a few seconds and then curl the toes under and again move your hips back. Let's walk the legs forward, Uttanasana again. Begin to bend your knees, Utkatasana with straight arms. Let's reach the arms up for a few seconds, lower the hips down, looking straight, arms in line with your ears, and then inhale and come up. Let's do one more quick one. Inhale up. As you exhale, take your hands down, place your hands on the chair, step your legs back, legs extended, hips moving back. Start to curl the toes under, move your hips forward, shoulders back, chest up, press your hands into the floor to keep the arms active. Press the feet into the floor to keep the legs active, chest opening. Curl the toes under again, press into the toes, move your hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana variation. Walk the legs back to create more length in your spine. Keep the upper arms firm. And then let's walk the legs forward and come up. Let's come up into standing, shoulders back. So next we'll do a few standing poses. So I'm going to start out with Trikonasana. And we'll do it in a way that we kind of move from one to the next. So step your right leg forward, left leg back, take your arms out, move the right hip in, lengthen the torso, take your hand down. And then as you stay in the pose, reach with the top arm, press into the hand. Then from here, we're going to move to Parshvakonasana. So begin to bend your knees. You can widen your distance, lower down, bring the left hand on the hip. Again, turning your chest. You can go down and rest your hand here on the chair. You can also elongate the side of the chest. This chair gives you a better length of the side. Hips in, lowering your hips down, keeping the back leg firm. Let's stretch the top arm. Keep your left thigh straight, lengthening through the fingertips. Try to sit a bit deeper into the hips. Front leg bend to a 90 degree. Arm straight or arm bent. Then from here, we're going to turn around and then lift the back leg up. So you're already in position. You can hold the chair. You can come a little forward if you need to balance yourself. And then let's see if we can press into the legs and lift our hips up. Arms up. Go down, back leg firm, extending the spine up. Left thigh is not dropping, it's lifting. Hip is lifting up. Now let's take our hands down. Once more, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Spread the hands, legs straight, arms straight. Now we're going to step to the other side. You are going to see my back, but in a way sometimes it helps because then you can understand how the back works. So we're going to come to the top. So the left foot now is forward. The right leg is back. So in Trikonasana, there's a big tendency of the hip to go back. So if you watch, I'm trying to keep my attention so that the left thigh draws into the hip socket, the hips remain level, and I lengthen the torso. So I'm trying my best to create more length. As I press my hand, turn the chest, and reach the top arm up. The back leg needs to stay straight, grounded to the outer edge of the heel. Now, maintaining this length, we're going to bend the front leg. Go ahead and widen your distance if you find you cannot bend the front leg. The right thigh is firm. You lower your hips, sitting deeper into the hips. You can rest your arm here. So again, here it's a good thing to perhaps view the back because you don't want this collapse. You want the hip, the length, and the extension. You can also stretch your arms, but that means it's stronger on your leg. Press into the thigh, revolve the spine. Turn the chest and stretch up. Shoulders relaxed. Then from here, we're going to turn around. So this time your left leg is forward. You're going to turn the back foot. Hold the chair for a second so that you can lower your hips a little lower. You do have to push strongly for you to lift up. If you find this tricky, go slowly up one at a time. Otherwise, make the back leg strong, push into the chair, push into the heels, hold your hips, and then come up. Bend the leg, extend, don't fall forward with the ribs, Buttocks in, chest up, arms straight. Go down a little bit more and stretch your right inner thigh back without moving the buttock back. Buttock in, right buttock in, right inner thigh back. Now place your hands back again and you're going to step your legs close. Do one Uttanasana here. Feet can go as wide as the legs of the chair. Arms can go here. Breathing in and breathing out. Now you're going to come up. Now the top edge of the chair can also be quite a nice extension. So depends on, of course, your chair distance. You need to position yourself so that your forearms, say the middle of your forearms, rest on the chair. And let's not be weak with the arms. We're kind of using the arms as an extension. And as you do this, you can also further work into the upper back. Don't drop like this. Roll the upper arms, lengthen the back and stretch into the fingers. Look straight. So from here too, we can move into Virabhadrasana 3. So first, bring your feet together, stretch your arms, look straight so the arms become very active. And I'm going to lift my right leg, and it's very clear that you can see my left hip. It's important that you keep your left hip back and the weight on the left heel, and then slowly start to lift the right leg. The tendency of the hip is this. You want to turn the hip and lift the back leg as you stretch it and extend through the fingertips. Look straight. Shift the body weight more to the heel, not go to the chair. And lift the right inner thigh. Let's lower the leg down. Let's bring our hands down, take a little break. Inhale and exhale, look straight. Let's keep the energy up. And then we're going to go to the other side. So once more, stretch your upper arms. Just the forearms are resting, the elbows are free. Stretch your fingertips, look straight. Now keeping your right leg down, start to lift your left leg up. Again, the hips don't roll, the hip rotates. The weight is on the heel. Extend. And you keep the back leg pointed and straight. Look straight. And then bring the leg back down. Bring your hands and come up. You can also do another balance pose, and the chair helps us sometimes. So we're going to do Ardha Chandrasana using the chair. So right leg stays forward, left leg goes back. Starting out in Trikonasana. Then we go to Parshvakonasana. And then we place our hands on the chair. Your hand is a little bit behind your knee. Yeah, so it's not directly here, it's a little bit behind. Roll the shoulders, start to bring your leg forward, and then you position your hand and lift the leg up. So you can stay here. You're not weighing down into the hands, you're using the legs. If you find you're losing your balance, just grab the chair, yeah? And the hip extends. Now another variation is, if you are stable, to go ahead and go down a little lower. Grab the chair, revolve the chest, keep your hips level, hip above the heel, and then turn the chest and reach the top arm up. Spread the toes, the legs work, chest up. And then to come out, you're going to lower the leg and come back out. I'll show you the back side because it's, again, very important that we understand it from both sides. So the left leg is forward, the right leg is back. Same as before, Trikonasana. So we take our arms down to Trikonasana. From here, it's always from the hip that we bend the leg. Then you take your arm forward. And when you start to transition, you position your hand in a way so that you can press into the leg and lift up. Now, often what happens here, and I want to point out my lower back, is this. Whereas actually the movement of the buttocks go in, the abdomen draws in, and so you're standing firmly on the leg. Same as before, you can use this to change this collapse to this, and you want the back leg to work. Second option, go down, grab the chair, revolve your spine, no collapsing the buttocks, buttocks extended, and then if you are stable here, reach the top arm up. Spread through the toes, shift the body weight to the left heel and lift the right leg. Chest open. Now from here, you're going to turn around, place the hand on the chair, bring the leg back down, and let's go down into Adho Mukha Svanasana once more. So step the legs back, stretch the upper arms, roll the shoulder blades away from each other, and move the outer hips back. Inhaling and exhaling. Now from here, you're going to come forward and come up into standing. Okay, so we're going to do one more variation. Now again, before I do this pose for you, it's probably preferred that your chair is resting against a wall. Yeah, so right now I cannot show you that. Or you make sure it's on a sticky mat. And again, if you have a friend, they can always stand by you and spot you. And if you feel uncomfortable and you've never done it before, please don't do it. Yeah. So what are we going to do? A kind of handstand variation using the chair. So I'm going to show you. You're going to sit down. The measuring is important. When you sit down, you want your toes to be at least in the middle. Yeah, so the toes should not be beyond. So then you have room to play with your feet. So what do we do? Once you've got that, you can place your hands close to the outer hips. At least keep one hand there and then slowly turn. Then you know, okay, that's my position line. And then you take the hands forward. Once more, since we are weight bearing on the arms, and I know wrists can be a tricky thing, a couple of things you do have to do. What is it? The upper arm has to rotate, but the forearm has to rotate this way. It's like you're creating a twist to get more strength. So let's practice that once before we do it. Yeah, so if you place your hands in front like this, and you start to, actually bring your hands like this, okay? And then I want you to try and see, oh, you can rotate. You can rotate. That's kind of clear, right? So now, spreading through the fingers, rotate the thumbs out. Good. And then you're going to start to turn the hands forward and start to push out. Now, as you push out, the outer shoulders go down and this tends to go out, but I want you to rotate the forearm back. Let's try that. Inner wrists in, outer shoulders back, and that gives you a strong connection into the hands. So we're going to try and keep that. I spread the palms. I first lift myself up like I'm doing a half down dog. I watch and I see, oh, okay, I can press my index finger, press my thumb. Then I look at the chair, so don't get confused. Look at the chair is right there. Then you try and you say, okay, what happens when I push my foot? Oh, my foot is slipping. I need to curl the toes under, push, and then go ahead and lift up. Now, if you're tighter in the hamstrings, it's okay if you bend your knees a little. But you don't want to collapse the arms, stretch the arms. If you're not, then you're going to look forward and try to lift from the arms, lift from the hips, and stay here. Tight thighs, kneecaps firm. Look at the chair, don't create tension in the neck. Inhaling and exhaling, creating strength in the arms, legs. And now to come down, you bring your foot down, come down, and you rest for a couple of breaths. Stretching forward. Roll the shoulders away. And now slowly inhale and come back up. Okay? So we are going to also do one shoulder stand variation. And again, in Iyengar Yoga, often inversions are a good way to build your immunity. We won't stay too long, and it's really not technically a full shoulder stand, but a lift of the hips is what we're going to look at. So you're going to have to lie down on your back. So once again, I'm going to do some adjustments. Again, different methods require different ways, and we're all open and adapting all the time, which is part of growth and evolution. So here we are. I'm just going to move a little bit the mic out, and then also move this out. And then we are going to come close to the chair, and you can bring yourself down, and you can readjust. Once you're in this position, we are going to roll the upper arms so we get this lift. Press the feet. And again, when you press the feet, before you do anything, root is important. So you can do this like drumming. It's like, oh, okay, now I know where to push into. So you press into the heel and you start to lift your hip. Yeah, so I'm pushing and lifting, pushing and lifting, pushing and lifting. Then I try to bring my upper arms closer. And then maybe I can grab the buttocks and stay here for a few breaths. So the movement is always from the waistline back, back, back to the back of the thighs. And the heels really press. Even though you're using your hands as a little support, it's not like your buttocks are collapsing into the hands. That causes pressure in the wrists. Please keep using the hip, using the back of your thigh, so that even if you took your hands off and you should test it, that this doesn't collapse. Press your feet to lift your inner thighs. Push the upper arms to lift the chest, because that's how the back gets stronger. Your hands are just to keep the length. Stay here for a few breaths. If you're comfortable in the pose, only then press into the left leg, bend your right knee. Please observe, I'm not pulling the knee closer than my hip. I'm taking it straight up. Yeah, so don't bring it to your face. Don't drop the hip. The hip lifts. The leg is straight, pointed, or extended. Then I take the leg down, lift the hip, again, straight up, lifting, hips lifting, legs straight, back of the thigh lifted. Now lower the leg down, lower your hips down. And there itself, you can do a variation of Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet can touch. You can place your hands here and stretch the hips out. Take a few breaths here. Smooth inhale, smooth exhale. Again, readjust the arms, the legs. Inhaling and exhaling. And now slowly come back out. Now sometimes, it's only if your chair legs don't have a bar, right? We can do this. And you can skip it if that's the case. Having a little bit of shade around your head kind of helps it to relax. So what I'm going to show you is a little bit of a shavasana, using the chair like a little roof over your head. Yeah, so when we want to close off our senses, you can take a little bit of time out. I often see my cat crawl under things. Maybe there's a desire to kind of close off. Now we're ready to come out. So to come out, you're going to first bend your knees one by one. And you'll have to move your chair slightly back. So you can just hold the chair, move it back. Or if it's a very heavy chair, the other option is to slide away from underneath the chair. Yeah? So you have two options, either push it or come forward. Come forward so your head is clear. Please check before you turn. We don't want any kind of accidents. Turn yourself. Bring your right hand underneath your head. Stay for a couple of seconds. And when you're about to come up, completely turn, meaning you press your hands, turn, 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 turn. Come up nice and slow, head coming up last. And then you come up into a seated position. And you can place your hands back at the center of your heart. Lift the chest. Bow your head down. Maybe set a good intention for the rest of your day if you're doing a morning practice. And if it's an evening one, then just a sense of gratitude for another day. And be well, be safe, and stay connected with yourself. Namaste.